Hi, hello everyone. How are you? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to ACCA APM webinar for June 26. Kindly confirm, is my voice clear, audible to all of you or not? Great. Thank you very much for the confirmation. So guys, APM, Advanced Performance Management, and my continuous effort to make it simple and easier. Today I have a lot of important things for you. Very exam specific, very useful in terms of passing the exam. This webinar is extremely useful and different, to be very honest, because I am working a lot to make it simple and easier. So today my focus will be explaining you people how you can write, how you should write, what to draft, and more importantly, how you will get the marks, where the marks are, and all this will be extremely beneficial for you. My focus in these webinars will not be towards quantity in terms of solving the questions. I'll try my best to cover maximum, but quality is what I will be focusing now. And we'll come up with more better ways of drafting the answer, because I want you people to pass. I'm really serious. I want to make this exam passing ratio extremely high, and I'm very sure, inshallah, the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm working on will make things simple for you people. So you guys need to learn. All the hard work, research work is my responsibility. I am doing, I'll do it. I'll come up with latest, best things for you people. You just follow the instruction. Your effort should be towards practicing the way I'm telling you, and I hope you will get very good, massive results. So I welcome you all to my APM webinar for June 26. My name is Rizwan Maniya. I love teaching. I love teaching. I love teaching this paper. And since so many years, I have been doing a lot of hard work for this paper. Okay. And the result is so many students in the past have become position holders in this paper. So if you look at the legacy, so it is clear that 44 plus position holders are my students, and they grabbed the position in this APM from different countries. As you can see in front of your screen, it's India, Zambia, Gambia, Oman, Pakistan, UK, Mauritius, Qatar, Nepal, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Kuwait, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Bahrain. So from different parts of the world, students have taken position in this paper. And that is why I like making it more simple and easy for you people. So, a very latest position holder from March 26 was from Pakistan. He has been a latest addition to my position bank uh, in the last attempt at March 26. All right. So going back to my entire teaching history, more than 18 years, paper that I teach is PM, FM, APM. Lots and lots of webinars I've conducted in the past. This is my 22nd webinar from VIFHE's platform. And all together in all the papers, the position holders are more than 63, right? With top score in APM. All right. So how to remain connected with me during the webinar is through the chat box. This is the chat box that is available here, where you just confirm me about voice and everything. This is my number. You can contact me for any help, guidance. I'm the principal here. So in that capacity also, any help you need, you may contact. Do join the global WhatsApp group of APM. The team will just share in the comment section. If you're not part of the latest APM global WhatsApp groups, be part of it. Lot of important materials will be shared in that group. The current webinar content as well as lot more will be shared in that respective group. So make sure you are part of it. Make sure. I'm working a lot on this for this paper, and before exams, I'll be coming up with a lot of important documents, a lot of important guidelines. So please make sure that you are part of these groups so that you get updated, timely, relevant information from my side. Yes, you need to understand and realize this paper is different from PM, even though it's a connecting paper, but it is different. As you're not a kid anymore, you need to step up from PM towards APM. One word I always say, will repeat: consultant. Is this your mindset? If yes, then you are in the right direction towards passing the exam. If not, you may rethink. So what simple thing that you have to remember? Whenever you are dealing with exam questions, you have to read the question like a consultant, then think like a consultant while writing the answer. Then you have to write like a consultant, the use of words, jargons, language, and on the exam day, dress like a consultant. I always say this: if you will dress like a consultant, that will look more professional. You will have that confidence in yourself that yes, I'm a consultant, I can do it, I will do it, I have done in the past, I'll repeat it. Okay. Some important guidelines, tips to pass the exam. Yes, APM passing ratio is always a big debate, but it doesn't mean the paper is difficult completely. Yes, I agree, there are some in-swinging deliveries, bouncers in terms of your questions, but still there are easy marks available. The best part is you don't have to secure complete 100 marks. Okay, you have to target first 50 marks. That's it. First 50 marks, first 50 easy marks you have to target first, and whatever you get above that, you're lucky. So there are easy marks available, there are easy things available. You should have that confidence, you should have that clarity that okay, this is how I can grab easy numbers. So whatever I can do, I'll do it for you people. Second, section A. Now this is one example. This is just one example. Section A, report question. The report format that you follow does have easy numbers. Just a small example I wanted to share with you. There are other things as well. So you have to be smart enough. Smart. The word I'm using here is smart enough. In today's world, only those who will work smartly using AI will go ahead. Yes, it is true to say that AI will replace people. And it is true to say that AI will not replace people. Now the question is, what are you saying? It will replace people who will not use AI and work smartly. And it will not replace people who will use AI and work smartly using AI to grow ahead. Khalas. Simple statement. So yes, smart working in examination is also important. Work smartly. Focus on quality, not on quantity. Okay? In writing the answers. The professional skills, marks 20 part of the exam are very useful, can make your life easier in terms of passing the exam. But for these two be in your hand, your technical answer should be good. Your technical answer should be in the right direction. And if you fulfill the direction, automatically these professionals will run after the technical marks. As I always say, target 80, get 20 for free. So please do watch my smart paper solving technique video available on YouTube channel of VIFHE. The link has been shared. This video will set the basis that how to tackle easy numbers. From where easy numbers are available, how much to grab to pass the exam. So do watch this. The link has been attached. On top of it, there are 4 videos available on VIFHE's YouTube channel by the name of Read the Marker's Mind. This is very crucial for APM students. These videos will give you so much of clarity, so much of encouragement that you will be confident and you'll say like, now I can do it. I know I can do it. I'm good enough to do this. This is how this video will change your perspective. Please do watch these. The link is shared here. Once we'll share the materials with you people in the general WhatsApp groups and the paid groups, you can check them. Then the $1 Million Theory Drafting article is also available in our APM free resources, available on VIFHE's website. Do read this article for drafting purpose. The paid students who are part of my paid batch, they already have a good idea about these materials, but those who are doing self-study, for them, these will be extremely useful. All right. The professional marks that I was talking about, that we'll be discussing throughout the webinars while solving the questions, includes communication. What comes under communication? Analysis, evaluation. What comes under this? Skepticism and commercial acumen. What comes under? These is what we'll be discussing. 20 professional marks are available for these 4 skills that you have to demonstrate through technical answers. It doesn't require a separate demonstration. Okay? Your technical answer will fulfill the requirements of these and you will get the marks. Okay? So we'll look into this once we move on towards the question. For communication, the report format is important. On top of it, it is not just report format. On top of it, overall, your effectiveness of communication is important. How you are communicating overall in terms of your jargons, words, usage, professionalism, and not opting for things that they have asked you not to do. Analysis, evaluation, use of numbers, data to draw conclusions will give you these marks. Looking at the positive angles, negative angles that are scenario based, doing a balanced assessment in relation to the subject matter will give you these marks. Balanced assessment. Skepticism, questioning attitude, not to be presented everywhere, few areas it is required to be demonstrated. Commercial acumen, I think, is very important for a consultant. Similarly, analysis evaluation is very important. So commercial acumen means what recommendation, whatever advices you are giving should be relatable, should be workable, achievable, relevant to the business, should consider external factors and internal capability. A typical report formats look like this. This report format, to, from, date, subject, introduction, paragraph, main body of the report, will have easy numbers. 1 mark, minimum 1 mark, at least 1 mark you are getting for just demonstrating this way. Examiner has never said this is for 1 mark, but I'm just taking a very conservative approach. At least if you grab 1 mark, that's it. People who fail at 49, they strive for 1 mark. They are pleading for 1 mark. You can grab from here. Okay? That's one example of easy numbers. Scope of the webinar, more or less remains the same, but this time I will be focusing a lot on this. Okay? We will revise the topics, we'll do the practice, but more focus on drafting, how to draft, where the marks are, right? And all this will be done on the CB platform. Section A of the paper is what we are targeting today, 50 mark question. Then day 2, we'll be targeting section B of the exam. Both will have separate techniques. Both are dealt in a separate way. After that, we will be, after these 2 days of free webinar, if you are interested, especially the students who are students who are self-study ones, they can join the revision batch. They can join my revision batch if they want to, because this revision batch is for self-study students for sure. Any student who wants to do self-study, this is a batch for you. You can make it really useful for you before the examination, and this will be a game changer for you people. Because this revision batch will include lots of live sessions that I'll conduct, and very slowly, gradually, I'll prepare students for the examination. So let me share the details with you people. Okay. First of all, this revision camp, this revision batch, you can opt for APM in both the languages now. It's in English language as well as it is in Urdu Hindi language for APM. So you can go with any language that suits you. What is part of the revision camp? So the revision camp includes live sessions plus a study plan through recorded content. Okay. So we will be providing you few important things, and let me show you how. You can see this plan. The recorded content will be given to the students. This will be available on the LMS once you enroll. Now this actually relates to top 25 to 30 areas, and the questions relating to examination will be shared with you people. So you will have a timeline, a planner is available that will help you to complete this once you enroll till max by 20th of May. Okay. In this, you can focus on your weaker areas first, areas in which you think you are not good at, and in previous exams if you have given the exam, you didn't do well, you can focus on those areas first. Okay. Other than that, the live classes to be held includes the webinars that I'm conducting today, tomorrow. The batch has started, so you can enroll ASAP. Okay. Followed by 2 webinars that you have to watch after these 2 live is my previous March 26 webinar. So these 4 days of webinars will set up the basis more better for you people. Okay. Followed by our first paid practice live session on 11th of May, followed by a pre-mock that we'll conduct live on 13th of May. And like this, I'll prepare you for the final mock and exam. Then the pre-mock debrief I'll conduct on 15th of May. So all these will be held next week. Okay. And all these are part of the revision batch. After this, we will be having a grand revision session with you people. This revision will be useful in recapping all the knowledge-based areas, followed by a final mock that will be a live mock with live invigilation to be held on 20th of May, followed by a detailed mock debrief as well, right? And then after your results of first mock will be announced after the debrief. First, I'll conduct a debrief and then we'll share the results, because that will be more useful for you to understand what went wrong after watching my debrief session. So once you will get the result of the first mock, you will be all set, and all the learning that you have taken in the last 2 weeks, you can then attempt complementary mock 2. Okay. And followed by complementary debrief session that will be given to you. So this is the plan for the revision camp, which includes very important recorded content of important areas and all these live sessions to be held. So a combination of these will become deadly and will give you high confidence to pass the exam. So it is highly recommended for students who are doing self-study for the first time, or maybe they took sessions before and were not able to pass and now doing self-study. So they will have someone with them to help guide and provide best support. So grab this opportunity. This is the number of the support team right at the bottom. Okay, so you can contact the support team at this number, or you can visit the website directly as well, and you can select APM revision course. No need for any coupon code because this is already at a huge discount. So you just go there, as I mentioned here, just go there. The fees will be clearly mentioned. Make the payment, get into the revision camp, and be part of next week's live classes till next 2 weeks. Okay. Or if you face any problem, you can anytime contact the admission department at this number that is given below here. All right, everyone? Clear. One thing before I move on, all the students who are already part of the paid batch or the reset batch, you do not have to join this revision batch. Why? Because everything is available to you people. All the plans that I've shared are all valid for you. So you don't have to be concerned about it. You keep on following the things that I'm doing. It's my work to ensure that I align everybody together, whether it is regular, reset, or the revision batch students. All right. Now, a small change. Types of students appearing in June 26. Okay. First timers, can you please quickly mention the chat box, all the first timers, and also mention the country from where you are taking the session right now. First timers with your country names, please. Very nice. Excellent. Okay, now those who are giving a reattempt, mention with your country name, please. The reattempt students. Mention the countries, please. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So, first timers, make sure this is your last time. Okay, give your best, learn from the mistakes of others. Research students, don't worry, it's your fresh attempt. Be relaxed, follow the plans, learn from the mistakes, and I'm sure you'll be able to make it. Okay, today's plan includes performance report, very highly important as always, but with more focus today I'll be putting on this report in terms of drafting the answer. Discussion about qualitative information. Now and then examiner is testing this part, like sometimes customer satisfaction, sometimes other specific aspects are tested, like quality of cleanliness, delivery, things like these. Okay, and all this will be done through a 50-mark question. So I think all set. Ready, everyone? Let's begin. Now, performance report, and a very important guideline I have to share with you people in relation to performance report, considering drafting, because drafting is what I'll be focusing a lot. So I'll just go through first with a basic summary, and then I will relate this summary with one of the practical questions so that you are able to know, okay, this is how this looks like in a practical scenario. Haven't done this before. It's the first time something new and doing. So be with me, okay? And also, if you like it, do share your feedback as well at the end, that now this is more useful for you people. And if it is not, then also mention it. The guideline is known as PALE. A very simple type of question will be tested for performance report. Very simple. Performance report is like a dashboard, performance dashboard, okay, which is given to maybe the board of directors of the company, maybe some tactical managers as well, depending on what type of report it is. In short, a report through which they can understand the performance of the organization. Okay? A report through which they understand the performance of the organization. Your focus mainly here is not to look at the report and come up with conclusions like company is performing good or bad. This is not what you have to do. I'm sure board of director do this by looking at the report. Have we performed well or not? Our revenues have gone up or not? Our financial performance is good or not? Our non-financial performance is good or not? This is what they do. This is not your work here. Your work is to see, your work is to check. To check. What to check? Whether the report and the information in the report is good enough, for measuring the performance. The report is strong enough to communicate about the performance of an organization. So it is not the performance that you are looking in the report, how it has performed, how company has performed. In fact, what are you considering? Is the report itself good, powerful enough in terms of communicating the performance of an organization? So for this, you have to check. To check what you do, a simple guideline is, first you have to check whether the report communicates properly or provides information properly about the achievement of the mission of an organization, achievement of its components. Mission and its component means a mission statement is written. So I always say to break that mission statement into its smaller breakable components, separable components. So you check whether these are being achieved, in the sense whether report communicates correctly about these or not. Because if report does communicate about these properly, then only a person who is reviewing the report will be able to conclude, yes, we are achieving a mission. Yes, we are not achieving the mission. Yes, we are achieving the objectives. Yes, we are not achieving the objectives. So report must have those proper ingredients to do it. So you are actually checking the ingredient, how good the ingredient is to communicate. Furthermore, the subsidiary aims, if there are any subsidiary aims to achieve the mission, is also what you have to assess, whether information is good enough or not. So basically your work is simple, to check whether the report does have good, sufficient information through which one can understand whether we are achieving our mission, aims, objectives or not. So our work is to check the quality of information. Got it? Highest marks in exam relates to checking the purpose of an organization. Highest marks you will be able to grab here. What I said? Highest marks you'll be able to grab here in this case. Done? Then other aspects that you also cover, you look whether the report is providing information according to the audience. Information is according to the audience. Layout is according to the audience or not. The audience of the report could be tactical managers, senior managers, board of directors, a group company, a subsidiary company. It will be clearly mentioned. Whoever the audience is, what your work is this report according to the audience? Yes. Top management requires summarized information. Lower management requires more detailed information. So you have to check whether report serves according to their status or not. So what to check in audience actually? The information and the layout. Information and the layout. Okay. So we'll discuss more about information. Okay. Next, third, information. Does report includes sufficient financial and non-financial information? The word that I used here, I don't know whether you heard this word or not, is sufficient. Sufficient means according to the requirement of the business. If business requires budgets, comparison with actual, report should provide it. If business require variances information, the report should provide it. If business requires trend information for comparison purpose, it should provide it. If the business requires industry average information for benchmarking purpose, it should provide it. It all depends according to the need of the business. Need of the business. If there is a need, you felt that need by reading the scenario, the report should have that information. And if it is not there, we will not be shy in saying it is not there. So information like external benchmarks, budgets, trends, but only if required according to the need of the business. Alas. Commentary. This should be there in the report. This is not as per the need. This should be there. Always a report should have a very good commentary written, which will not restate the numbers given in the report. In fact, it will focus on key things, key highlights, key reasons for good or bad performance, reasons for trends, any unusual things happened, it will explain those. The purpose is, as a reader of the report, like if you are a board of director, so commentary should tell you, okay, this is the reason because of which I can see revenues falling since 5 years. It could be anything. It could be a failure of a product, massive competitor, uh, better strategies, could be anything. So a report should address and draw attention to the important matters and explain their significance, and can even address the mission areas achievement. Were we able to do it or not? Okay. Then layout. The general layout of the report, how it looks. Is the report easy to read, easy to understand? Does the report has too much of information? Too much of information. As I said, it should be according to audience. So is the report according to board of directors who prefer summary, who prefer figures rounded to millions, if maybe thousands, but not to the last digit? So the layout should look simple, easy to understand. It should not be a one in which information is so much overloaded that you are not able to understand and you lose the direction. On top of it, how much graphically presented the report is, which is important, yaar. Graphically representation means the use of graph always makes things easy to understand. The use of ratios always makes things easy to understand. So the layout is what you will be looking at. Remember, from audience perspective, we can cover information and layout. And let me tell you, these three areas that looks more towards other aspects, layout, presentation, do have marks, but not very much. The major key marks you can grab here, purpose. Purpose is where you can grab major marks. Okay. So I have a very good plan of action for you people. It's now time to start with the question. We are dealing with a 50-mark question. A simple $1 million plan that I always share with my students is read the requirements first, the general requirements, and also copy paste that on the answer sheet. Khalas. The general requirements will give you the idea that which topic is being tested. but not exactly what needs to be done in that topic. For that, you have to read the question. You have to read the question. Now, while reading the question, there are exhibits given to you in the paper. Few exhibits at the start are general exhibits about the company. And then you see exhibits that are requirement specific exhibits. So it is very easy to determine which are requirement based, which are generalized. It is very easy to determine that. Not at all a problem. Okay. So now these days, the exam questions that you see, the way they are structured, you can even think of solving the question by reading requirement based exhibit and answer it, then another requirement based exhibit and then answer it. And this is very much possible these days. And this may save your time. But the more traditional approach is a one where you read the exhibit, the whole scenario, all the exhibits in one go, and you can present your answer. Or you may choose an approach where you solve exhibit wise. That's very much workable, very much possible. You have to do the rehearsals yourself to test which is more time saving for you. Whatever is, do that. Alas. Yes, whatever approach you follow, either exhibits in one go or exhibit by exhibit approach, make sure you will find verbs and objects. Verbs evaluate, discuss, assess. Verb basically tells you the action that you have to perform. What action to perform? Evaluate tells you look for positive and negative. Do a balance assessment. Recommendation tells you to come up with an alternative or a recommended method. So action to perform. An object tells you the subject matter on which that action has to be performed. The subject matter on which this action has to be performed. Like, is it usefulness of ABC that you have to evaluate? Is it usefulness of VBM that you have to evaluate? So, verb clarifies what action to perform, and object tells you that, okay, this is the element or I'm the element, perform this action on me. Not on me, the question, okay? Done. Then plan your answer. Requirement by requirement, plan your answer. Okay? In this, I always say you have to look at now any part that you are solving, you have to look how many verbs are tested in this requirement, because there is a very clear possibility that multiple verbs will be part of one requirement. How many objects are part of one requirement? So just figure out, break them down into small pieces, look at the marks and headings if you can plan. So I'll do the rehearsal of these things and then write the answer requirement by requirement. So I think it's clear. Let's do a question to see how these four actually are followed. Okay. Now you can see the question, I'm sure. Where Exhibit 1 relates to company information. Exhibit 2 is about performance reporting. Exhibit 3 is about minimum performance level. Exhibit 4 is transfer pricing proposal. And Exhibit 5 is about Appendix 1. That is Appendix 1 actually here. The first thing to start with, if I follow the $1 million strategy, so I'll open my word processor and will fix the screen properly so that I can easily be able to refer to this again and again as per need. Then I'll open the requirement section, and the first thing that I'll do is I will copy all the requirements like this. Copy, go there, and paste here. Okay, Control C, Control V if it works. So this is how you have to do it. Now, once I've done it, I'll be very smart here to grab the easy numbers right at the start. It's like the first ball you bowled and it was a no ball and you got a run, right? You bowled a wide ball. If you are a cricket lover, I don't know you are or not. So it's a wide ball, you get a free run, right? So it's very similar to this, where you have this report format. Sorry, you have this requirement area. So you can quickly make a report format because you need to write a report here. So how? Very simple. To, okay, so it's very clearly written. It's to the board of Maddy. So you just copy paste it and write here board of Maddy. from right now, I don't know, they sometimes do mention in the question that you are a consultant or a performance management expert, whatever it is, we'll see. Right now it's management accountant. Date, the one that is given here, if use it, otherwise the exam date you can use. Okay, then subject, not exactly sure what needs to be done, so I need to wait. Then an introduction paragraph, just keep some space for it at the start. Again, we'll come back to this later on. And the main body of the report then will be as per the requirements, like performance reporting. I'll remove this marks later on. Minimum performance level, transfer pricing area. Okay, so I've just gone through the requirements. I know now that one is performance reporting, second is minimum performance level, that is cleanliness, okay, for 18 marks, and then transfer pricing. Followed by the 4 professional skills, communication. I'm already working towards communication right now. Analysis, evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen, which is for 10 marks, as we all know. All right, done. So this is one work you can do very easily, and this will save your time. This won't take too much time and will give you minimum 1 mark. Okay, so done. This is step number 1. Step number 2, read the scenario. Okay, so I will, for now, the strategy that I'm opting for is the one in which I will read the entire scenario in one go. Will highlight things as well, and yeah, you may try on your own. In case if you want to go with exhibit wise approach, that will work well as well. So first of all, exhibit 1, and this is the company information exhibit, which is common. If you go with exhibit wise approach, still you have to read this at the start. Maddy, and I know it's a performance reporting question. So I know what performance report questions are. You should know it, where you have to evaluate the report most likely, right? So just keep this in your mind that, okay, performance report question is there. So something if I find useful, I may highlight that as well. Maddy is a fast food chain which operates restaurant in several locations. As always, I always say, I always emphasize that to ensure that your commercial acumen automatically comes into play. So do understand nature of the business at the start what work they do. Is it a manufacturing business or a service business? So here it is, fast food chain restaurant. Fast food chain restaurant. Uh, Once you understand what work they do, I say students, because you have to think like a consultant, so I say students, just think if you just think of a similar company doing a similar work in your country, in your country where you live. So if Maddy is a fast food chain, so just think of a fast food company in your country. Now, can you guys, let's open the floor for interaction now. Can you guys come up very quickly with any good fast food chain operating in your country? Yeah, we have McDonald's, we have Domino's, we have Pizza Hut, we have KFC, we have Five Guys. Now, very good burgers of Five Guys. I did try it very recently. We have Hardee's, we have Burger King. Oh man, getting hungry, right? Chili's, yeah. And come on, let's take more names. I like it. Chicken Nation, wow. Taco Bell, wow. I just want to know new names in your countries, okay? Pop, Popeyes, okay, great. So many different brands operating in different countries. Albeg, yeah, Albeg is good, man. Albeg is good, yes. Well, we are enjoying by looking at the names. I can see people are so interactive in terms of telling. Yeah, Jollibee, I just tried few days back. I didn't like it much. So, yeah, I didn't like it much. Okay, so these are the fast food chain restaurants. Fast food chain restaurants, you can just think of the names. Now, why I'm doing this? Because you will be more able to relate it. And if you pick any name that you have experienced it actually, so you will be more better able to link with that. So just try this. This will work. It was established by the current board members who all are shareholders when they opened the first Maddy restaurant in 20x2. I do like a very good brand, Mardo, as well. I don't know whether you guys know Mardo. Mardo is good in terms of food, right? So with Maddy, Mardo came to my mind. The restaurant quickly gained a good reputation, okay, through positive reviews on social media. Good reputation, positive review on social media. And you know it's a social media world. For the quality and price of its food. Okay. So people liked Maddy for price and the quality. For its customer service. Okay. The customer service is good. And for its cleanliness. I just saw one requirement with cleanliness as well. Because I went through the requirement first. So I can easily relate, okay, yes, cleanliness is actually being tested here as well. And this is one uh, quality of the business that people were talking positively about it on social media. Since then, Maddy has grown quickly. So this is a good, I would say it seems to be a success factor for them, that good quality food at a good price with cleanliness, with customer service good, helped them to grow a lot. By August 20x5, so just imagine they started in 20x2, and in 3 years time, 20x5, it opened another it had opened another 12 restaurants under the Maddy brand. Wow, just 3 years. Okay, with the same overall business model, product range, look and feel as original restaurant. We see whenever you go to KFC, whenever you go to Albeg, you will see look and feel to be very same, even if it is in different locations in one city or even in different cities or even in different countries. So the look and feel you go there, it's the similar. Okay. Maddy's overall objective. Here I will be very much focused now because performance reporting is the question requirement. So for every question of performance reporting, the overall objective is very crucial because this is what relates with the technique of PALE, purpose, audience, information, layout. So purpose. The overall objective is to maximize shareholder wealth. Fine. To achieve this overall objective, the company has two supporting aims. Yes, I can easily recall. Yeah, I also have to look at the supporting aims. To increase the number of restaurants, this is the first supporting aim, open more restaurants. Maddy has ambitious growth objectives, okay, to increase the number of restaurants. So they want to grow in terms of increasing more and more restaurants, including, interesting, franchise restaurants. Yes, you have seen KFC, McDonald's, they do provide their franchises throughout the world. Subway do provide franchises throughout the world. This is how they've grown in different parts of the world, right? Though Maddy is successful business, okay, Maddy is successful business, the lack of available finance has meant that the rate of opening its new restaurant has recently slowed. Okay, they are giving franchises, that's for sure. But when it comes to opening their own new restaurant has slowed down because they don't have finances. Okay. So there are two things. One, they are opening their own restaurants, okay, and also they are giving franchise to different people who are opening the same restaurant under the franchising agreement. Got it? Now, to achieve the second supporting aim, to increase the wealth, to achieve like for like revenue growth, okay, of at least 15% each year. So like for like revenue growth, there is a static given to me, and here the explanation of that static is what is like for like revenue growth. Let's just go through what it means. Like for like revenue growth is that achieved by means other than the growth due to opening of new restaurants. So it is other than opening of new restaurants. I would say more relates to the revenue creation of your existing restaurants, okay? Or I would say the impact of your own customer, old restaurant customer retention, right? And excludes growth from other one-off events as well, which may distort the measurement of the performance. So the revenue growth like for like means that revenue growth that excludes the new restaurant opening and any one-off events. Okay. And this should be at least 50%, 15% each year. Okay. The board believes a key factor in achieving this, means this revenue growth is for Maddy to achieve industry leading performance across range of factors relating to quality of service. So they think this revenue growth will be achieved if they focus on range of factors of quality of service. Now, range of factors related to quality of service includes a lot of things, okay? But the important thing is industry leading, it says, which means you should be here in the areas of quality. You should be here. Maybe your taste should be the best. Okay, your taste should be the best, right? For example, okay, in order to help its overall objective, the company recently established 8 franchise restaurants consistent with supporting aim, because you want to increase the number of restaurants. That was your supporting aim, to increase the number of restaurants, including franchise restaurant. One of these restaurants is located in a neighboring country. Okay, so again, the different country where the company's brand is not widely recognized. Got it. Each franchise is owned and managed by a franchisee and is operated as a business which is totally separate from Maddy. This is how it works actually. The franchisee pays franchise fee to Maddy in return, and in return is able to trade under the Maddy brand. We know this. All food items, cooking equipments, fixture and fittings, and marketing materials are provided to the franchisee by Maddy. This is how KFC, McDonald's, Subway work, right? To the extent that from customer point of view, a franchise restaurant is indistinguishable from the one owned by Maddy. We know this. The franchise fees paid by the franchisee to Maddy have two elements. Now, it is important to find out the elements of the fee. Let's have a look. A one-off setup fee, which varies in amount according to the size of the new franchise. Okay, this is one-off setup fee. Once you open a franchise, you have to pay one-off setup fee. This covers the cost of fitting, fixtures, equipment, staff training, initial marketing of the new restaurant in the local press and online using social media, pay per click, PPC we call it, pay per click advertisement. Okay. For some of the new franchises, the setup costs incurred by Maddy have exceeded the setup fee, okay, agreed with the franchisee. The board is keen to ensure that this doesn't happen in the future. Okay. An ongoing fee of 10% of franchisee revenue is paid to Maddy in return for the provision of extensive IT infrastructure, continuing IT and marketing support, and license to trade under the Maddy brand. So they also pay a 10% revenue against the services like IT infrastructure, continuing IT support, marketing support that they get. Okay. All food items must, and this is also an interesting note. Okay, all food items must be purchased by franchisee from Maddy. This is another revenue stream for them. Ingredients actually, okay, and the cost of these are additional to the franchise fee. So yes, McDonald's, KFC, whatever ingredients they are using, they also sell that ingredient to the franchisee or to their franchise divisions. So they won't give it for free, obviously they charge for it. Okay, done. So I understood the entire business model. I think it was very valuable to understand. Now performance reporting is my first requirement. Those who want to go exhibit by exhibit can focus on this exhibit and start solving from here. Otherwise you need to complete the entire reading part. But one thing is for sure, you will find verbs and objects here. You should find verbs and objects here. Before Maddy continues with the next phase of its growth plan, the board has asked you to advise relating to performance reporting at Maddy. The board wants you to evaluate whether the current report, which it uses on quarterly basis, is fit for the purpose. Now, it is very clearly written, fit for the purpose. Fit for the purpose. Okay? And very important instruction that is given to you that you have to follow. The board has instructed that you are not required, please don't even think, not required, don't even think, not required to evaluate the performance of any aspect of business. And you will be surprised to see, you'll be surprised to hear what I'm saying. If you open Maddy Company Examiner report, if you open Maddy Company Examiner report, just open and check. You will be surprised to see, you'll be surprised to see, you'll be surprised to see that examiner has mentioned that there were students who start or who did commented on the performance of the Maddy business. Now, what is performance of the Maddy business? The revenue is good, the cost is bad, this is good in the business, this is good, bad in the business, the performance is not satisfactory. This is not what you're required to do. You're not required to do this. And just imagine a person categorically mentioning you and then you do it, what he should do. No, why he should do something? It is you who should go to Burj Khalifa and jump from there. Because he's saying, do not comment on the performance of the business. And you're like, no, 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 no. I think they are confusing me. I think they are distracting me. I will do it. I know it's a confusing statement written here. Stupid. He will call you back. He will not wait. He loves calling you back. He loves charging you X pounds every time. So be wise enough here. Come on. The board has instructed that you are not required to evaluate the performance in any aspect. The one that I've already copied here, I will go there, will create some space and will copy paste this. We'll write here verb, which is to evaluate, and what to evaluate is the subject matter, that is the object, whether current performance report in appendix 1, which is here, used on quarterly basis, is fit for the purpose. Now, what is fit for the purpose? According to the objective, according to the scenario, okay? Done. Minimum performance level. This is the requirement number 2 you can see here, that relates to cleanliness, 18 marks. All franchisees are subject to minimum performance levels. Okay, set by Maddy across a range of financial and qualitative measures. If franchisee fails to meet these levels, a board member will visit the franchisee to help support them to improve performance. Continued failure could lead to termination of the franchise as well. Okay. Maddy has only recently started to collect data relating to cleanliness of the franchise restaurant. Recently collected data, cleanliness. And remember, in the first exhibit, it was mentioned that people do have positive reviews about Maddy in terms of cleanliness. Okay. Customers, okay, cleanliness is one measure. Cleanliness is one measure subject to minimum performance level and is measured by customer surveys. So they measure cleanliness through customer surveys. Okay, there are minimum performance levels. Okay, and one is cleanliness against which their performance is measured. Okay, customers fill out a paper form giving just one overall score, right? One overall score about cleanliness between a range of 1 and 5, and for cleanliness and other aspects of the quality of service, and place them in a box in exchange for a chance to win a free meal. Okay, I'll repeat this again. Cleanliness is one major subject to minimum performance level and is measured using customer surveys. Customer fills out a paper form giving just one overall score between 1 and 5 for cleanliness and some other aspect of quality of service. So this survey form is not purely for cleanliness, but it also includes some other quality aspects as well. So people fill this form by just putting a score from 1 till 5, and this is rewarded with a chance to win a free meal. Free meal. The franchisee collates these responses onto a spreadsheet at the end of each quarter. Okay. And sends summary of these results to Maddy for inclusion in the next performance report, which is quarterly performance report. Okay, next. The board requires work on this area into two parts. I will just copy the parts, will copy and will go to the requirement section directly, because it says the first part of the work required on this area has a weightage of 8 marks and the other part has a weightage of 10 marks. So the one that has a weightage of 8 marks, we'll separate this. Okay. Now, first of all, 10 marks for this. So what exactly we have to do? The board would like you to explain is the verb. What to explain? Difficulties in interpretation or of data about cleanliness. Okay, interpreting data about cleanliness. You have to explain the difficulties. Then you have the word and. Always remember and is the extra requirement. So I will separate it by mentioning this verb to advise. Advise it on the problems there may be with the data. Problems there may be with the data on cleanliness received from franchisees. Okay. Now what to do for 8 marks? Let's have a look. The board has asked you to see how simple it becomes here. Verb, recommend and evaluate. Two verbs. Recommend and evaluate. Recommend and evaluate what? Object. Possible alternative methods to assess the area of cleanliness. Alternative methods to assess the area of cleanliness. So it is very clear that these are the things that you have to do here. The way you have splitted the requirement, 10 mark work relates to this one and 8 mark work relates to this one. I hope no problem at all as far as this is concerned. Yes or no? Great. Last exhibit. In 20x5, the company, the first Maddy franchise restaurant established in neighboring country was opened. Yeah, we just saw earlier. The restaurant is geographically close to Maddy's warehouse, okay, from where it distributes food item on its own restaurant and franchises in the home country, right? Food items can move freely between two countries and there are no tariffs or administrative barriers to this. Halas, okay. Maddy usually negotiates fixed prices with food suppliers for 1 year, okay. The Maddy suppliers I'm talking about, okay. Also, it is able to fix the price it charges franchisees for food item for the same period. Like for example, if I'm buying for a fixed 20, I'll sell you for 25. I'll sell the franchise for 30. Okay, so they fix the price. The franchisee in neighboring country, now they are talking about the neighboring country franchisee, okay? While accepting that it must purchase all food items from Maddy, that is for sure, has asked that it be charged for these at market rates. Now, this is very important to understand. Charge for these at market rates, and it would pay to the nearest equivalent product in its own country. Now, this is a transfer pricing case, and we just saw the third requirement related to transfer price. Yes or no? So basically, the franchisee that operates in the neighboring country is saying that uh, you charge me the market price for the same ingredient that is available in my country. In my country, like for example, cheese to be used in burgers, right? So the cheese in the local market would be like for $100, and maybe Maddy might be charging $150. So the franchisee has that right, and they will say, come on, give us for $100 because we get the same in our country. And why this is important? Because if the cost of the franchisee for producing a burger will be less, so they can compete in the market. Otherwise, they cannot compete in their local market, right? So what work you have to do here? The board has asked you to evaluate the franchisee's proposal of charging at a market price similar to the one that is being in their country. So this is done. Verb is to evaluate, and what to evaluate is the proposal. All right. I think the planning part is done. We have gone through all the exhibits in one go. Exhibit 5, it's Appendix 1, is what I'll be looking at in a while I'll solve the first requirement. This is what I have to refer to. Now then, step number 2 performed. We are moving towards, slowly, gradually moving towards step number 3, and that was to plan the requirement. So the first requirement that I'm solving is performance report requirement, and I have to plan this requirement now. 14-mark requirement, plan this requirement, this is what they have mentioned us. Now, when I say plan this requirement, so what exactly planning needs to be done? What exactly we need to do in terms of planning this requirement, okay? So for planning part, obviously, what to do? What to do? So listen, my friends, this is for sure that what comes to my mind here is obviously I will be evaluating the performance report. So the guideline that I'll be following is PALE. I have mentioned this countless times that PALE is not the heading I want here, but PALE is a starting point. So the first is purpose, and by default, remember, the heavy marks are available when you evaluate the purpose of an organization. Okay, then other for audience information and layout. So yeah, that's it. So I know here that my object is performance report. This is for 14 marks, and major marks I will grab by looking at the purpose, and here it also says for fit for the purpose. Okay, so in my planning part, I think everything is clear to me, clearly set out here what needs to be done. I will directly start with my requirement number 1, with my solution number 1, without any hesitation here. Okay, so this is for sure, and everybody knows it. The report that we are talking about in case of Maddy, this report should be a one that serves the purpose of the objectives of Maddy. Is that right? Now, let's begin. This is the report. Let's have a quick look. Performance report, quarterly one. So because it is quarterly, I can see quarterly revenues of 20x5, cost of sales includes staff costs, ingredient, consumer cleaning products. I can see GP margin as well quarterly. So every quarter they get a report of quarterly sales and cost of sales and gross profit margin. Not only this, they also get prior year's information starting from 20x2, 20x3, 20x4 and 20x5 4 quarters. Okay. Then I can see a separate revenue for Maddy franchised restaurants. Separate. So the first revenue is for the owned restaurants and the other one is for franchise restaurants. So franchise restaurant revenue is separate, owned restaurant revenue is separate, and the same level of details are available here as well. Revenue, cost, and GP margins. Okay. Note 1, this is the revenue, which includes franchise fee and sale of ingredients. So you know there are two revenues. They sell the ingredients and the franchise fee that they take. Then note 2 includes the cost of ingredient that they buy from supplier, setup cost that they do for the franchise, and ongoing support cost is also mentioned here. And then the gross profit margin and all. Okay. Then you can see whole company revenue, cost of sales, gross profit, and gross profit margin. Whole company. Okay. We see rows. We can see the number of restaurants that they are opening since last 4 years, the one that they have owned, the one that are being franchised. We see non-financial measures of cleanliness because we have seen at the start, I think here it was mentioned, quality, price, customer service and cleanliness. So here you can see measures of food delivery time, okay, food delivery time and cleanliness as well. Clear? And the average ranking score of 5 is given to. I think that's the performance report. I think this is all clear to all of you so far. Guys, yes or no? Are we clear, everyone? All right. Now what I'll be doing today, purposefully, I will be writing answer in form of bullets. Then I will provide you a drafted answer of those bullets later on in order to give you the idea, okay, this is how the paragraphs looks like and all. But on top of it, I have to guide you in terms of what to write, how to write, and for how many marks to write. What to write, how to write, and for how many marks to write. Now, it's a 14-mark requirement. Generally, the marking scheme says 1 valid point per mark. Now, the question is, what constitutes a valid point? People do ask me a lot, and they do compare APM with SBL and AAA. First of all, don't compare. Things acceptable in SBL or AAA might not fix here. It's APM. In APM, you have to listen me only. Me only, me only, and me only. No SBL tutor guideline to be followed here. No AAA, no AFM to be followed here. Okay? Because in APM, 1 valid point per mark. But what constitutes a 1 valid point is what I have to explain you here. Okay? So, what to do? How to start? What should be the approach? Once I'll explain you the approach, then I'll draft the points and later on will provide you with the drafted answer as well. Okay. Now, Very simple breakup I want to share with you people. It's a very good summary that I prepared for you people that will help us what to do. So please concentrate, and I hope this is visible to all of you as well. And before you ask, will I give this to you? Yes, I'll provide you later on. So can you see this screen? Yeah. Okay. Now listen. Performance report question is what we are dealing with. So the basic step, read the requirement, identify verb and the object. You know, I have done this. Okay. Remember, here it is the report that you have to evaluate. You were asked not to evaluate the performance. So those who are evaluating the performance, they are wasting their precious time. Up till now, it is clear. Now, the guideline that I always provide you is based on purpose, audience, information, and layout. Is that true? Okay. You will love it. Be with me. Main scoring area is purpose. Okay. Main scoring area is purpose. So I'll set up a technique for you now. More better technique. You know purpose. So what to do in purpose? Listen. Guidelines. Pick the objective, mission, and supporting aim from the scenario. Okay. Break it into small, measurable components. Okay. If this is not visible, just in case, let me ensure that it's visible to you. Right? Okay. Check. Now listen. Check whether the report measures each component. See, I'll make this piece of a cake for you. Very easy. I'll explain you how to grab marks. You have never seen this before. Okay. Now, you have to check it. If yes, if any part of the object is measurable in the report, name the measure that does it, like sales growth is doing this work, ROS is doing this work. But more importantly, it is not only the name of the measure that you have to mention to get 1 mark. In fact, you have to explain why it is useful for the scenario. Now, when we say one valid point, how to grab one valid point? I will show you in a while. First tell, this is the objective. Mentioning the objective is not enough. Okay. Then this measure is useful for measuring this objective. Take the name of that measure. Okay. Third, explain why this will communicate about that particular object to the board. If you do this, you get 1 valid point. Sorry, mark. Now, in doing this, it might take 1 line, write 1 line, 2 lines, write 2 lines, 3 lines, write 3 lines. That's it. Lines are not important in APM. I don't know about other papers. People do say in SBL we are required to write 3 lines. I don't believe in APM this is important. For APM, that's total not valid at all. For APM, what matters? This is the objective. This is the objective. Okay. Pick one objective in the question. Okay. Then just check whether the report measures it. If yes, tell the measure. Telling measure is not enough. Explain why it will measure. Explain why it will measure, how it measures it. If it says no, no, state its weakness. State the weakness of the report. State the weakness. Okay? And explain why the report is not useful in the case of the business now. So if no, mention it, mention the weakness and explain it according to the exam for Maddy company. Okay? Done. Sometimes there is a measure, but it's a weak measure. There is a measure, but a weak measure. Then also explain why it's a weak measure and which better measure is helpful. Khalas. Done. After this, everything finishes. This is only what you have to do. So how to get one valid point? Tell the world that Rizwan Maniya has explained it today. I don't know how many tutors have done in the past. Tell the world that I've explained how to grab 1 mark. How? Look at the objective, check whether report is measuring it or not. If there is a measure, tell yes, this is a measure and this is how it will be useful for the board. Case 2. No, there is no measure. The report is weak as it is not measuring a key objective required by the Maddy company. Third, yes, there is a measure, but this is not a good measure. Instead, this would be the better one because this will measure according to Maddy company. Khalas. Khalas. So what are the key takeaways for you? What are the key takeaways for you? What is the plan? The writing pattern. Look at the objective. Look at the report. Do consider whether there is a measure, yes, or there is no measure, no. So if there is a measure, mention it. If there is no measure, there is a gap in the report. There is a gap in the report. And in both the cases, explain why useful the measure is or why weak the report is. Khalas. Why weak the report is. Okay. Now you wanted to know how to grab 1 mark per valid point. Come on, I need your feedbacks. I work with two-way communication. My system doesn't work like this. People will respond to me. They will say, yes, it is clear. Then I'll put more energy, obviously. So let's do the rehearsal of this. Let's do the rehearsal of this. Rehearsal. Okay. How to do the rehearsal? See, coming back to the exam question. Today I'm not here to focus on quantity. I'm here to focus on quality. Okay. So let's focus on quality. Oh, bhaiya, you don't need to make this part of muscle memory. I'll make it right now. In few minutes, it will be part of your muscle memory. See what I'm doing here. This is the first question of performance reporting. What I'll do? Let's make part of your muscle memory. Okay. The report to be fit for the purpose should include relevant data in relation to Maddy company's objectives. Now, can you write this in the examination? Yes. That's nothing difficult. Nothing difficult. Nothing difficult. I will write points in right now in terms of bullets, but later on I'll present a paragraph form to explain you that this is how it should be drafted. Okay, so just listen to me because I want to explain you what valid point here means and how you will grab the marks. Okay, so khalas, done. Now next, the overall objective of the Maddy is, just copy paste from the scenario and I'll tell you what I'm doing here and why I'm doing this. This is the overall objective. Okay, is to maximize the shareholder wealth. Okay, this will be achieved by focusing on two supporting aims as follows. Okay, let's go here. Let's copy this. To increase the number of restaurants, to achieve like-for-like revenue growth at least each year. Okay, done? Say yes or no. Clear? Okay, very nice. Now, now what I have done here is I've simply broken down the mission into components or overall into components and subsidiary aims. Doing this in this way is giving me marks. Let's be very prudent here in terms of marking scheme today. Let's not be too much optimistic about it. 1 mark. What is difficult in this? Nothing. So once you break it like this, you qualify for minimum 1 mark for presenting the answer like this by breaking them into a logical sequence. 1 mark done. Khalas. Okay? 1 mark. Now, what to do next? Let's start with the first objective is shareholder wealth. Let's check it. Okay. As for, mention the objective. As for the overall objective of shareholder wealth, let's check the report. The report here is the report. Now please, you tell me, everyone, this is the report. Let's look at the report. Anything you feel here, any information, any message in the report you think will give the reader the idea the reader the idea that yes, shareholder value creation is being achieved. Come on, you have to talk to me. Yes or no? Anything given here in this report? Have a nice look. Have a nice look. Okay. People, there will be two answers. Number one, no, nothing given. Second, yes, Rose is given here. Nothing given. Yes, Rose is given here. Okay? Nothing given. Rose is given here. Okay? So now listen. What I'll mention here, the report only includes return on capital employed as a measure. Now, this is a measure, but is it a proper measure? Is it a weak measure? It is a proper measure. No, it's not a proper measure. So I'll say, as for all objective, the report only includes rows as a measure, but this measure does not correlates with shareholder wealth. Okay? So, not a useful measure. Okay? That's it. That's it. So, the focus is on shareholder wealth, right? And nothing is given. No direct measure is given like EVA. Khalas. Now people say, why you wrote EVA? Were you required to suggest? See, when they ask you to suggest, then you have to justify your suggestion. When they ask you to suggest, then you have to justify your suggestion. Here I am not justifying EVA usage. Here I am just showing how poor ROS is. To show how weak ROS is, I mentioned EVA. Classical thing that I've mentioned here. So it's not just why I wrote EVA. Do they want me to suggest here? My suggestion is not a suggestion here. Here, why I mentioned EVA is to show how poor the ROS is. Because whenever you're required to suggest, then bhaiya, you have to justify it. So here I'm not justifying. This is what I wrote here and will earn me minimum 1 mark. Minimum 1 mark this will earn me for sure. For sure, this will earn me minimum. I'm taking a very prudent approach here. Okay? I'm taking a very prudent approach here. Maybe one may say 2 marks because there are two things I've highlighted here. Number one, shareholder wealth, no direct measure is given. May give you 1 mark for that. Then you highlighted how poor or weak ROS was. Maybe you get 2 marks. But let's be prudent here. And that is, ROS is not a direct measure as it does not correlate with shareholder wealth. So looking back to my examples, listen here. See, objective is shareholder wealth. Anybody, listen. Anybody who stops here will not get a mark. Will not get a mark. Just mentioning that there is no indicator given, I feel just mentioning the objective will not give you a mark. So what you have to do? Move on. But ROAS is not a direct measure of shareholder wealth creation and may not be linked well to value creation. So this is a complete sentence. This is a complete sentence. And this will earn you 1 mark. Minimum 1 mark. So people who ask me that what valid point constitutes, this is what valid point means. What is the plan? Look at the objective, look at the reports, see any useful measure to measure it, explain how this will be useful for the Maddy company. If not, say no, there is no useful measure here. Any weak measure given, also discuss the flaw of that measure, that this is not useful. So I did mention that ROAS does not correlate well, does not measure directly shareholder value creation. I'll be getting 1 mark here for this work. Done. Say, is it difficult? Say something here. Is it difficult? No. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. For shareholder wealth, if I will see something else as well in the report, which is good or bad, I'll mention it. Because right now I'm talking about shareholder wealth. So I can see one more developing point here. One more developing point here. What is that? See, the report does have gross profit information. Yes, the report does have gross profit information. Here it is, gross profit, right? Gross profit is there. Now, the objective is shareholder wealth. Listen, listen, listen. The measure is gross profit. We'll say no. No, this is not sufficient, because what is ignored in the report is, I don't know whether you will reach to that point or not. What is ignored in the report is operating cost. Operating cost. You have mentioned about gross profit. You know what gross profit is. What is operating profit? After gross profit, once you deduct operating cost, for Maddy, operating cost is important, like IT infrastructure, franchise support cost. So operating cost is missing. This operating cost will affect shareholder wealth. This operating cost will affect shareholder wealth. And if it affects shareholder wealth, you should have information about that as well. It is not given here. This means this is also a weakness in the report, and you may grab 1 mark by mentioning this. Now, people say, if we don't write about this, no issue, you will lose 1 mark. You won't get 1 mark. You won't get 1 mark. You may write something else later on. You may get more marks there. Okay. So, here I'll mention the other point, and that point is, let me show you. Report only shows the gross profit, okay, and ignores operating cost. For example, mention why. See, the objective is shareholder wealth. This is a developing point. Okay, one more point I'm coming up under this heading. So, report shows gross profit. It doesn't shows operating cost. Okay, like information, IT, infrastructure cost. Okay, why this is relevant for Maddy company? As look at the words, as these can affect shareholder wealth. Khalas. Done. 2 points. 2 points, 2 marks. Are you all with me? Understood? So those who ask me what constitutes a valid point, this is what valid point is. How to come up with a valid point? What is the rule? Sir, make a rule for us. I'm making a rule for report questions. Look at the objective. Look at the objective. Look in the report any measure to measure it. If yes, mention why it is useful. If no, mention this is a weakness and tell why this is a weakness for Maddy company. How this helps Maddy company? How this is a weakness considering Maddy company. So rule made. What rule? What rule? The rule is clear. And the rule is, see, guys, be with me. The rule is objective, report, measure or gap, tell why useful or weak. And this will give you 1 safe marks. 1 distinct scenario linked message. Okay? What is a developing point? I just showed you above. Can earn further mark only when it adds a new reason like gross profit, operating cost, implication, example and scenario link, or a separate weakness. Gross profit, operating cost not available. Okay? Done? So, I hope this is clear that what I've just explained you, that what is a developing point, what is a valid point constitutes of how to grab mark. Is the rule clear? Now, will this be difficult to apply? Look at the objective, look at the measure. If available, say yes, this is how it will be useful. If no, say no. If any measure is given, say this is a weak measure, this will not be useful for Maddy company. Done? And let me tell you, this is not a pure suggestion. This is something I've written to make my point more solid, to show how weak ROS is, how better EVA is with shareholder value creation. Halas. Now, 2 points done. Next, to increase the number of restaurants, I'll come to the second part and the first supporting aim. Guys, you have to be with me. Okay, now for first supporting aim. Now, what is the first supporting aim? Increase the number of restaurants. Increase the number of restaurants. Do we have anything available in the report for this? Come on, guys, you need to tell me. Yes, we do have number of restaurants information available. 20x2, 20x3, 20x4, 20x5, Maddy own restaurants and franchises as well. Franchises as well. Okay? Are you with me? Okay. Now, there is an information, so I'll mention it. For first supporting aim, the report includes number of restaurants, okay, which is relevant for Maddy first aim. Okay, done. Now, I have mentioned this is good. This is good. But one thing I see here is that would have been better to mention these are absolute numbers. These are absolute numbers. Okay, these are absolute numbers. Try to understand, please. So, what I can mention here, no growth ratios are shown to show change from period to period. Khalas. Now, this should give me minimum, again, very conservative approach, 1 mark. Minimum 1 mark. Are you all with me? Guys, yes or no? Clear? Yes or no, everyone? Done. Easy. So far, 1 mark for breaking like this and 3 marks for the 3 points that I've written here. Moving towards the next one. Let's see for the second aim. Now, what was the second aim? Like for like revenue growth. Like for like revenue growth. The report, let's see what report has. The report, come on, tell me. Do we have any information for like revenue? Like for like revenue growth? Do we have anything? Yes, guys. So let me write here. Do we have anything for like revenue growth? For second aim, the report does have only revenue information but no revenue growth measure is given. No revenue growth measure is given, like percentage increase in revenue. You don't know what is percentage increase in revenue? Yes? We don't know. We know this. It's not given. Okay? Understood? Halas. Also, see, they wanted to maintain a target of 15% each year. So they don't have a revenue growth measure. Also, no comparison, with 15% target. No comparison with 15% target. Got it, everyone? Halas. Okay? See, this is what you have to write, and minimum to write about this, you will get 1 mark. Now, are you understanding? Are you understanding what one valid point means? Say yes or no. Done? So now, I think we are done with the main overall objective and the supporting aim. So what will you say here? The report does not fit for the purpose of measuring supporting aims. Halas. Okay. Are you with me? Now, let's move ahead. I think there was one thing more that was mentioned here, which I have to go and check, that I'll now comment on. Here it is. Are you with me, everyone? User disconnected from your channel. Guys, is this clear? Now, to achieve this revenue growth, it was mentioned that we have to be industry leading we need to have industry leading performance across range of factors related to quality of service. Now let's measure this. Are you with me? Now let's measure this. Okay, Let's do it. I'll copy here. We'll close this. We'll change my paragraph. For measuring industry leading performance across range of factors in quality of service, the report does have information. Now, which information we are talking about? Please, let's have a look. Food delivery and cleanliness. Food delivery and cleanliness, non-financial measures are given. So, tell me please, does it seems to be useful somehow? Yes or no? Yes, it is. It is. Okay. So now let's write it. Very easy. Like cleanliness and food delivery, okay, are relevant measures. Clear? Are relevant measures, because this is what they want to see, because it is mentioned part of their objectives. Okay? As these supports the growth objectives. Now, however, my question is, in the question, it was written at the top, range of factors, range of factors, range. Now, do you think just these two would be enough? Just these two would be enough? No. No. Just these two would be enough? No. So, we'll mention, however, measuring just two will not cover range of factors. And 1 mark for you people. Done. Okay? This is a valid point. Yes or no? Yes, you do have good measures, but not complete. 1 mark, khalas. Okay. What's next? What's next? The objective mentioned is to measure range of factors. Okay. But the biggest flaw that I see here is the word industry leading performance. For industry leading performance, the measure is there. This is a developing point. This is another connecting point showing another weakness. Showing another weakness. So what I'll mention? I will mention, to be industry leader, you need to have comparatives. How can you judge? How Maddy can judge we are the best or not? No industry comparison available. 1 more mark. 1 more mark. So I'll add one more thing. Also to measure the leader in the industry average industry comparators will be required, which report does not provides to Maddy board to be able to judge whether they are leading or not. One more point, one more valid point, 1 mark again. Khalas. Understood? Say yes, say something, yaar. And you know why I'm creating these spaces here? Because my final answer will show these two in one paragraph, will show these in one paragraph, will show these in one paragraph, and this will also answer your question that how many paragraphs to write. See, you may even write 2 valid points or 3 valid points in one paragraph. And I simple say those are the points that are relating to one aim, you write in one paragraph, the other aim, the other paragraph. There are certain points that are connecting to each other in one paragraph. That's it. Is it becoming easier? Come on. This is what I have done, would have made things super simple for you. After this, I think there is no difficulty what to do in terms of APM answers. So look at the objective, see whether report offers anything or not, and explain it properly. Why yes, why no? Why yes, why no? Khalas. Okay? No unnecessary stuff that I'm focusing on right now. Nothing. Now, guys, let's move on. Okay? Now, what else given in the scenario? See, everything is here. Let me just show you the sequence through which I came up with the points. Listen, I'll highlight the sequence for you. First, I started with this one. Done. Then I moved on to this one. See, now I'm just showing you while reading the scenario. Now I'm showing you while reading the scenario, while planning the answer before you start. Now I'm showing you before writing the answer, you can go to that exhibit again. You can go to that exhibit again. You can go to that exhibit again and plan few points quickly. So I started first with shareholder wealth. Then I went to number of restaurants, then I commented on this point, then I focused on this point. Hello? Easy? Right. Then, now I'm moving towards the lower part. And I'll come up with more points. Then, to help achieve its overall objective, again, it is in continuation to the objective, okay? They established franchise restaurants. Okay, they established franchise restaurants. Now, this is another valid point for me. Does the report, see, I'm completing now scenario based. Does the report includes information separately for the neighboring country franchise? Why do you need a separate information? Why? Because it is operating in a different market. It is operating in a different market. This is a valid point that I'll use. Next. There are two fees that they charge. One is the setup fee. One is the ongoing fee. Very crucial. Board is keen to ensure this does not happen in future. What? The cost of one-time setup was not covering the revenue of that setup. Another point. The report is not indicating the cost of franchise setup is there. Yes, I did saw. The setup cost is there. Just have a look. Here it is setup cost. Setup cost is there. But what is missing? The one-off revenue is missing. There is a franchise fee written here, but it is total of ongoing fee and one-off fee. Last time board was like, we made a loss. Now we don't want to make a loss. If board doesn't want to make a loss, they will have to check. They will have to ensure that it doesn't make a loss. For that, they have to say, they need information. They need breakup of revenue. They need breakup of revenue. Are you with me? Say yes or no. Okay. You have to listen till the end. I'll complete my guidance. So I can see one more point here that I can write. Now, very important thing is let me search. Here. Lack of finance availability. This point you may even write when you were discussing about the number of restaurant measurement. You could have written there as well. And if not, you will write here. Another point. Lack of finance availability was affecting their rate of opening their own restaurants. The report should include information about the financial position of an organization, because it is a key problem. It's a key issue. Key issue. Okay? Okay. So how many more points that I came up with? Listen, that I haven't covered. This one. Now what I'll do here, listen, what I'll do here, Yeah, I'll make this yellow. The one that I just came up now. And why I'm doing this, I'll tell you. This yellow. Again, yellow. 3 points I came up recently in the scenario. All points that you see, which color is this? Pink? Should I call it pink? Huh? The points that are in pink were purposefully related to purpose area. Pale, pale. Okay. Now the points that I'm coming up here is something that is related to audience, information, and layout of pale. Okay. See these yellow ones. 3 points. I'll write it later on. You know what I've done here. Now, what else? Because I will also get marks for the other aspects of pale. Not very much, but yeah, for presentation, for layout, I will get marks. So, by looking at the report, one thing also comes to my mind. I cannot highlight this. I think this is an image here. The information of non-financials is first of all very limited. Too much of financial. Non-financial is not there. Do they need non-financial? Yes. Yes. Because they did mention they want to focus on range of quality areas. So just two given, I already mentioned that as well. But on top of it, cleanliness, food delivery, do you know this relates to franchise business or this relates to owned restaurants? Don't you think this should have been segregated between what? Restaurant and between franchise and also for overseas franchise. Done. Last. Second last. Second last. Don't you think too much of information? Don't you think too much of information? Too much information is given here. Okay? Too much detailed information. Yes, it is. Especially when you see the cost of sale breakup includes a cost given to you under the name of cleaning product. Cleaning product. Cleaning product. Why cleaning product information so immaterial is given to the board of directors? Too much of information. Are you with me? Too much of information. Okay? Plus, one point that I can always write, commentary. No commentary is given. No commentary is given. No commentary is given. To explain the reason for the trend, you can see they have given you so many years data, right? And one can question that all these years that are given here are actually relatable as well or not. Maybe too old data is also given here, I feel like. So no commentary explaining the reasons for the trend. No graphs given as such. No graphical information. Now, how I came up with all these points. Listen. Please, let me finish this guideline. For audience, information and layout, what is the rule of thumb? What is the rule of thumb? Identify who uses the report for audience. Identify what information is needed according to the scenario. According to the scenario. Okay? For layout, how information is presented. Now these are the other points of PALE. Are you with me? Who uses the report? Some points relating to that. What information is needed according to scenario. Now, according to scenario, franchise revenue breakup is needed. According to the scenario, more non-financial information is needed, and a breakup of non-financial in terms of franchise, owned, and foreign companies needed. Listening? Okay? For audience, too much of information is required. Too much. It should be less. I'm telling you a universal rule now. For layout, too much information, no graphical information given. Okay. Again, for information here, no commentary available. No commentary available. So, sir, what is the rule that you are making for us? The rule is simple. For audience, information, and layout, first of all, look at the need. Then look at the report, whether report provides it or not. Yes or no. And third, why important. So listen, for audience, what audience need? Less information. Report has too much of information. Why it matters? Because they do not have too much time to go into basic details. Cleaning product cost is not required. Got it? Okay. Second, reporting need for information. Franchise setup revenue is required. Financial position is required. Commentary is required. Check it is there or not. If it is there, mention it. It is good. It is useful. If it is not, tell why it is important. It should be there. Layout. Any layout issue. Any layout issue. If there is an issue, do mention that this will affect decision making. No ratios, too much of information overload is there. Alas. So what is the rule for audience, information, and layout? Look at the reporting need. Look at the reporting need. Then check whether report has this thing or not. If yes, explain how it is useful. If no, mention that this is needed for the company. So should I summarize this for you? Yes. PALE. For purpose, the rule is simple. Look at the objective. Look at the report. Yes. No. Mention why useful. If given, why useful? If not given, it should be given. It is a weakness. It is important for Maddy company. Got it? For the remaining three, look at the reporting need. After this report will be peanuts for you. Reporting need. Check the report. If report has this information, yes. If doesn't have information, no. In both the cases, explain why useful. Khalas. Say something, yaar. What is left after this? Nothing. Reporting need will come from where? Scenario. Reporting need will come from where? This and this will come from where? Scenario. Khalas. Scenario. Okay. Let's now quickly finish this, the drafting part. To teach it does takes time, but once you learn it, it will not take time in the paper. For me, it's tough to cover this. This is taking time. For you, once understood, should not take time. So the rule is in my mind, in my muscle memory. In my muscle memory, my purpose is completed here. Once I have gone through these one by one, my overall aims, subsidiary aims are done. Now I will look for other points as per the scenario needs. Okay, so let's move on very quickly to cover this. Okay, now the report should include information in relation to franchise setup fee as mentioned that company fee didn't cover the setup cost. The board is interested in knowing this doesn't happens again. Okay? Clear? Done. One mark. Next. The non-financial information is more required for Maddy company better assessment. Okay, and it should be more segregated between owned and franchised restaurants. Okay. Also, now this is a developing point. Also, the franchise located in neighboring country may need separate adjustment or explanation as Maddy reason as Maddy is not popular there. Khalas. One mark. Guys, are you all understanding what I'm doing here? Yes or no? Okay, done. Okay, next, hate using word because of the alignment it does. Then the report should also include information in relation to financial position of a company. Reason, tell the reason why. Because the company is facing financial difficulty in opening its own restaurants. Okay, done. Next, the information in the report seems to be too much considering the board as too detailed information will not be relevant for them. For example, information in relation to cleaning products will be insignificant. Okay, done. Commentary is missing in the report as it will be useful in explaining the trends about in performance and any performance or key reason. Okay, done. Also, the information given for prior years like 2000x 2 and 2000x3 might not be needed due to due to initial days not useful for comparing with current performance. Okay, guys? No graphical information available for better assessment of performance. Now, these are all the points that I came up under the heading I already told you. So, I hope this is clear to you. What needs to be done in all these cases? Okay, and these are the points that I've written here. Now, these will give me marks, obviously, if you want to know. So, I can say 1 mark in this case, 1 mark in this case, okay, 1 mark in this case. So looking at the marking scheme, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1 mark, 4, 1 mark here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, 14 marks. Wow, the requirement was for 14 marks, right? Okay, 14 marks. Understood? So this is 1 valid point actually means the purpose, okay, no problem, even if it is 16 or 17 points, the max you will get is 14. See, the available marks are always more. It's not that you will write everything here. It's good that I went on to increase the points, but the point I want to make is, did my answer became more simple in order to draft it? That's the main thing. Okay, once I'll provide you the drafted answer, you will get to know exactly what I've done in this case. Okay, so guys, what's your feedback? Clear? Understood? This is the basic thing to remember for report, and more importantly, 1 valid point means the issue that you are referring to, why that is an issue, and what impact it may have on the company. Relate to the company. This is 1 valid point. Okay. Are we done so far? Nice. The next requirement, 18 marks. Next requirement is for 18 marks. And after that, for 8 marks. So far, everything is clear. Say yes or no. Okay, nice. Now solving requirement 3, not 2 for now. 2 is what I'll be doing tomorrow. 3 is what I'll be solving now. uh, in tomorrow's day 2 webinar, because 2 is a bit lengthy requirement. This is something we don't do in exams. I'm just doing to save the time, as the connection is not there between 2 and 3, because I did mention you can solve exhibit wise. So that's why I'm solving the third one first, and we'll come back to the second one later on. Okay. So is this clear to you? First of all, yes, no confusions. Please, quick replies. Everyone, clear? Okay. So let's target the third one. We have to evaluate the franchisee's proposal in relation to transfer price. Okay. So let's open this exhibit very quickly. And the exhibit says, and it pertains to the franchise that is in the neighboring country. Okay. The restaurant is geographically close to Maddy's warehouse, from where it distributes food items to own restaurants and franchises in home country. Food item can freely move between countries, no tariffs, no administrative barriers to doing this. Okay. Now, what is the proposal? The proposal is that Maddy, the franchisee, has given a proposal that Maddy should charge the market price of its own country, not the one that Maddy charges the other franchisees, which means the ingredients that the franchisee buys from Maddy should be charged at a price equivalent to one that is in the prevailing market. What is the verb? What action that you have to perform? The action to be performed is evaluate. Okay. So what are you evaluating? The proposal to charge market price of the ingredient that prevails in the franchisee country. Action to perform is evaluate. What should come to your mind? The positives of this proposal, let's plan it. Okay, headings: advantages of proposal. Okay, then disadvantages of proposal. Right? Advantages, disadvantages. Okay. 8 marks, 8 valid points, which will include valid advantages, valid drawbacks. Now, how you can grab one complete marks here? What constitutes a valid point? Listen, the biggest hint I'm giving you, for every question, verb and object will clarify you what will be the valid point. It's $1 million saying, $1 million. Every question, verb and object will clarify you what is a valid point. What valid point you have to find here? I'll tell you. Listen to me and apply this to different questions and you will almost get similar approach every time. Evaluate is a verb that tells you look for positives and negatives. So this means valid point will be valid positive, valid benefit, valid drawback, valid benefit, valid drawback, valid benefit, valid drawback. First part done. Now, I love making this paper simple. Now, proposal. What are you evaluating? Proposal. What is the proposal? Market price should be the transfer price. So, benefit of using market price will be a valid point not just by writing that market price is a fair transfer price. No, that is the bookish point. That won't give you marks. Market price as a benefit will become a valid point when you justify or relate that with Maddy company. Once you write this for Maddy company, once you explain this is a benefit for Maddy company with a reason behind it, how this will work as a benefit for Maddy company, that is one valid point. So to find out the valid point, look at the verb and the object. Positive valid point will be valid when that positive will be for Maddy company. Negative point will be a valid point when it is negative for Maddy company. Khalas. Khalas. A balance of both is good, but not compulsory, like 4 positive, 4 negative. No. Depends on the information. Depends on the information and your reasoning behind the benefit, and it could be more drawbacks, less positives. It is not that you just have to create a balance or equal point you have to write. No. So advantages of proposal. Understood what valid point will be? Okay. And sometimes I did mention there could be a developing point as a markable point, but it should have a different meaning to the previous one what you wrote. It is being connected, but it has a different meaning, a different benefit it is indicating. Okay. Now, charging market price of the neighboring country. Okay. What benefit will it bring? What benefit it will bring? Will be fair and will make franchise more competitive in market. Right? Because transfer price is a cost for the franchisee. Will make more competitive in the market. Okay? As Maddy is not popular. See, now I'm telling this advantage for Maddy company. Then I will qualify for the marks. Popular. As Maddy company is not popular in market, so this will help them to gain market share, as they will offer competitive price. Khalas. Got it? So now you are getting marks because you are not just mentioning a bookish point, but you are relating that with the scenario. So writing just till here that market price is a fair transfer price. Why for Maddy company? Why? It will help Maddy circumstances, Maddy situation. Here, this is the point where I think you will minimum get 1 mark. I always say minimum because maybe you might score more sometimes, but let's be prudent about it. And this is all my learning, my observation by looking at different exam questions, understanding the exam marking scheme. Examiner has never given us any clear guideline that what one valid point actually means. That's my own analysis study that I do a lot, looking at examiner marking scheme, examiner reports, and everything. Okay? Are you with me? Okay. What else? This transfer price will help to grow in long run and hence will result in shareholder wealth creation, which is what Maddy objective is. Another point. I see I made some connection here, but this is an advantage. This is an advantage. Okay? So this is something I mentioned, another advantage of using this. This will help franchise to grow in the market in the long run. And eventually what will this do? Eventually what this will do? Eventually this will result in shareholder wealth maximization. Okay? Clear everyone? Because remember, their growth is dependent on franchise business as well. I will mention this as an add-on, as the growth plan includes opening more franchises. So this objective will be supported by the success of this franchise business. Done. I did explain it in a more better way. Clear? Clear. Now, overall, the brand will get better. They will earn more. Shareholder wealth maximization will be there. More franchises is what they will open later on. Now, the drawbacks. What drawbacks will come to your mind here? Very important. Very important. The market price that franchisee wants to be charged, okay, might not justify the quality of ingredients that Maddy company is supplying. Are you with me? Okay, Maddy company is supplying compared to the compared to the local market ingredients. Are you with me? Quality are quality. Quality is very important. So if the product is of different quality, then you cannot use this as a market price. Getting the point? Now, franchisee says charge a lower price because the local market price is 2. My quality is of 5. Why should I charge 2? And if that is the case, then you are selling a very good quality product at a lower price in the market. Okay? This may understate the price according to quality of product. Done. Clear? Got it? Say yes or no. Okay. Next. Very important. Very important. The market price should be genuine price, not fake or temporary one. Now, why I'm saying this? Maybe sometimes the market prices are fictitious, are not accurate, or very temporary one. They may change again and again. The local market price I'm talking about, okay? As a change in price then will be problematic, especially when the prices increase in the market okay, this may require to change to get back to the original model of pricing. Now, it could be a possibility that franchisee will say, okay, let's come back to the same model when the price in the market went up. So if there will be a fluctuation, variability, it will be difficult to determine the price properly then. Okay? Right? Clear? So variability in price will affect the friend. Done? Okay. What's next? What is next? Some other drawback? Yes, please. Currency fluctuation. Now they want to be charged as per the market price, which means now Maddy will be selling in home currency of franchisee. Any exchange fluctuation will hit Maddy company. Oh, using market price as benchmark price means Maddy will be selling in franchisee home currency, and this will affect Maddy in case of exchange rate fluctuation adversely. Yeah, very nice. Any fluctuation, the hit will be on Maddy company. Are you with me? Yes or no? Guys, where are you? The flaws I'm mentioning here. Okay. What else that can affect or be a drawback? See, they have a business where their plan of growth is to open more and more franchise. Now, just remember one thing. In long run, such a practice of setting local market-based transfer price will affect Maddy company as other franchises will also demand setting local prices. Are you with me, everyone? So more time and effort will be required to deal and finalize prices. See, there are so many things that we can write here that can affect the company's performance. Are you with me? Yeah, it may be, but I don't think if it is less than the one that Maddy is charging, one would ask them to reduce, change to the market price. It's very much obvious that they are asking to come to the market price because the price is more. That's why they're asking, right? There will be no one who would say, okay, let's reduce it. Understood? Okay, next, very important one, the performance assessment between the franchises will be difficult, because of different bases used for transfer for pricing. Okay? This will complicate things due to variation in assessment and will be very, very crucial if it affects one of the minimum performance level required by Maddy to continue the franchise. Remember, they can terminate it. So, my friends, so many things one can write here. And you can see we are evaluating the proposal of using market price as a fair transfer price, or should we do this or not. So you can clearly see this is what needs to be written in this case. Okay, clear? Now, yeah, that's the case as well. Yes, correct. You can write this as well. This can affect Maddy profitability as well. Yes, correct. Okay. Now, guys, overall, what do you think? What should be the case? Overall, I think, because commercial acumen is important here, I think at least for some time, the proposal should be accepted. For some time, the proposal seems to be valid and accepted considering Maddy is new in the market and to take hold of the market, pricing is important. Okay? So providing food at lower cost will help them to establish in long run, which will be useful for the company. Halas. So I think for long run, it's better because they have to penetrate into the market. For penetration, you need to play around with these things. Okay? Everyone, are you with me? Yes or no? Clear? So I hope this is clear what valid point is about. Your verb object will tell you, and a valid point is a valid point when it fulfills the verb and object and is related with the scenario or related to the scenario condition. Okay? So I hope this requirement number 3 is clear to all of you. Guys, all right then. How was the today's session? Enjoyed it? Was it different in terms of understanding and clarity? I have to come up with a formula that helps you to draft the answer properly. So I hope I have guided you in the right direction, and these guidelines will make things simple so that you can draft it properly. Happy emojis, yaar. Come on, my effort needs to be appreciated, at least not financially, at least non-financially, by settings, giving hearts and thumbs up and all. Okay? So please, those who will watch later on in form of recordings, I'll be looking at the comment section, how useful it has become for you people as well. Your comments will give me more energy, motivation to make things more simple. So all those who will watch later on from our recordings, do update comment section. Okay? We'll continue tomorrow with the same question, requirement 2. And then further ahead towards section B question with new helpful things and guidelines. The struggle for APM will continue. I'll give my best to help you to pass. Now, passing is important. Pass the paper. Take care.